Well, we are live. Hello to everybody that has joined us live. And if you are watching the recording, thank you for watching the recording as well. My name is Jody, and with me today is Angus, one of our recent graduates. Hello, Angus. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, thanks. And you, Jody? Thanks for having me, and hello to everyone else on the other side. It's good to be here. Excellent.
Excellent. I'm well,
Cool.
thank you. Yourself. All
Good.
right. So
Yeah.
let's just jump straight into it then. I don't want to take up too much of people's time. I said it's going to be about 30 minutes, but as I was preparing this presentation, I realized it's probably going to be a bit more. But anyway, we'll try and do it as fast as we can. There's a lot to cover. And I'm just going to go through some slides and provide some information, and then I'll be jumping back to speak to Angus about specific things. Because Angus, of course, just for some background, has gone through our training programs. He has graduated them all, and he is now teaching English online and has paying students. So this would be a great opportunity for us to see exactly what our programs do consist of and how he did them and how it can relate to success in the real world. At the end of this presentation, we'll have a little Q&A session. So if you want to ask us something, you can type it in the chat there underneath in the comment section below in Facebook, and we'll be able to see them and answer them. All right. So let's jump straight into it. In this session today, we're going to be talking about our training program specifically. We've done other presentations and other webinars on what teaching online is and what you're going to need and what it includes and all the background things. And you can go and watch those. But also, we've created a free course, the Introduction to Teaching English Online course, that I hope that some of the people or most of the people watching this have already done. So all that information is already inside that course, and you should have it already. So we want to move on to the next step. So you've got that information. Now, how is it that we can work with you to help you launch a career? So we're going to talk about what our programs include, which program would be best for you. We can speak to Angus about how we helped him launch his career, and then we can talk about how TEFL Online can help you do the same thing. All right. So who we are, first of all. TEFL Online Teacher Training is an online training academy. We're based in the EU, but we've got partners and staff all over the world, in Canada, South Africa, Japan, and Israel. We're made up of ESL teachers, teacher trainers, and mentors with a combined experience of around 30 years. We were established in 2016, where we started working with online TEFL specifically. And actually, next month is our birthday. I just saw that another one of our mentor has just joined the call as well. I'll bring him into the room in a minute. So next month is our birthday. Actually, we'll be turning 6 years old next month. And so far, we've helped thousands of teachers get TEFL certified and launch online teaching careers. Just to give you a little view of who we all are, that's myself, Jody, up there. That's Zander, who is our TEFL career mentor. Daniel, who does our TEFL course. He is the TEFL course manager and creator. Roxanne, who does IELTS. Christina, who helps with the Practicum. Kelly, who does recruitment. James is one of our partners, external partners, third-party partners, who helps people launch their own online ESL careers or businesses, sorry, if you want to go completely independent and start a business. And then we've got Rachel and Chris, who help with resumes and things like that. And then also our previous graduates, who are part of our online teacher community and our support groups afterwards, which is very, very important. And we'll jump onto that just a little bit later. Before we go anywhere, let me just let Zander into the room. Oh, there he is. Zander is there as well. Hello, Zander. Welcome. I'm just going to carry on there. We'll jump in later with you to ask some questions and get some feedback. All right. So what is our mission? So we would like to become the #1 place for people looking to start a career in the online education industry. So we want to do this by building long-term relationships with our graduates and helping them launch online teaching careers from home or anywhere with an internet connection, really. You don't have to work from home. You could be a digital nomad. The last thing on earth we want to do is sell you a TEFL course. Now, there's a lot of places out there where you can do that, where you can get a TEFL course, basically buy your certificate, and then just take it and wish you luck. We want to work with you. Sure, the TEFL course is included in our programs, but that's only step 1 of the process. All right, so we're going to go through those steps right now with you as well on this program, on this call. So the programs include step 1, teacher training. This includes the TEFL certificate or the TEFL course, and also a online teaching practicum if you don't have any teaching or coaching or mentoring experience or something along those lines. Step 2 is our career mentorship. So after you've done your teacher training, both theoretical and practical, and you've got your certificates, what do you do? Where do you go from here? What's the next step? How do you turn that into a career? How do you turn that into interviews? How do you turn that into getting freelance students or private students and those kind of things? And that's where we work with you on that as well. And then step 3 is our lifetime support. So after that, how do you grow you as a teacher? Where do you get that support? Where do you, when you have questions and you need feedback, where do you go? Who do you ask? We have all of that covered from the moment you enroll until whenever you want to stop teaching English online, whether it's in 10 months or 10 years, we'll be there to support you. Some things I wanted to mention before we continue that. If you are on this call and you already have done teacher training and you've got your TEFL or you've got your CELTA or your TESOL, whatever, and you want to help launching your career, you can jump in at step 2. You won't have to redo the TEFL course, based on what TEFL certificate you've done before, but you can jump in from step 2 and we can help you from there as well. Okay, so stay on the call, on the session, and we can get to that later on. So what else you will need besides what we can provide you is the training and all of those things, but you need to come to the table with something. You're going to need hardware. You're going to need a computer with a webcam, all right? HD webcam at least. You're going to need a headset with a microphone, and you're going to need a good and stable internet connection of at least 4 to 5 megabits per second, although 10 would be great. If you can get fiber, that's the best. You're also going to need some software included. You're going to need to have a Zoom account, which is free normally. Skype is free. Google Meet is free. If you want, you can upgrade all of these things to get more premium ones, obviously. And when you work for online schools, they'll have their own software to teach the classes, and they will train you in that. So you don't have to worry about that at the moment, okay? Step 1 of our process is the TEFL certification course, okay? So we offer the 120-hour TEFL course. So this is what you need. A lot of other TEFL providers will tell you that you need a level 4 or a level 5, or you need a diploma because that's going to help you get more job interviews and things like that. In our experience, that is just not true, all right? You just need the minimum of a 120-hour TEFL course. This is going to give you the basis, the springboard to what you need to teach English online, okay? We're going to cover things like how to teach a new language, how to teach grammar, speaking, listening, reading, writing, all of those things, how to create effective lesson plans, how to test and evaluate your students' progress, things like that, all right? But you already need to have a good grasp of the English language to begin with, right? When you come into this, if you've decided you want to teach English online, it's because you already can speak English. You've got a neutral accent. You can have an accent, that's fine. But as long as your students can understand you, you can, but you should have a good grasp of the language. You should have a love for the language and a love to teach. These are things that we cannot provide for you. These are things that you're going to have to bring to the table. The rest we will take care of, all right? Just before this call, I've skipped ahead a bit. Just before this call, before we went live, I was chatting to Angus about that and talking about what the TEFL course meant for you, Angus, and what you got from it. You can just tell the people as well what.
Yeah, thanks, Jody. Yeah, well, what I actually saw was that it gave me the certification, the actual course was something that gave me a framework to work from. I think without it, I would have been pretty lost. I mean, going out into the real world and actually meeting face to face with your first student is a different experience to doing the course. But what it did was it gave me the background I needed. It gave me the steps that I needed to teach. It taught me a heck of a lot of things. Other than that, what I actually found to be extremely valuable was the fact that, for example, preply.com, where I got my first student actually, what I noticed, and I was just looking at my tutor, my tutor page on Preply now, you actually get a little blue shield with a white tick in it, and it says tutor has a verified ID. And what I said to Jody just now, I noticed that my profile seemed to go up. My profile's positioning in the list of tutors actually went right up to position number 8. And I said, I don't know how many thousands there are. I felt quite good when that happened. It isn't there anymore. So I don't know if it was just a coincidence, but the algorithm seems to, I'm pretty sure the algorithm they use to place you within the structure definitely seems to be affected by the fact that you've actually got a verified TEFL certification. It's not some fly-by-night backyard piece of paper. They actually go and check it. When I loaded my profile, they took that. They came back after a couple of days. They said, your profile is live. And I noticed they've got this verified ID. So that seems to show that you're certified, if I can put it like that.
Yeah. So that's something that's important for people to realize, that the TEFL certificate serves two purposes. They actually teach you how to teach, step one, so that you know what you're doing as a tutor. These people are paying money for your services. You better know what you're talking about. And step two, it helps in verification like this. It helps in your profile. It helps when you get interviews for jobs, to put you up ahead of the rest of the candidates. Okay, even candidates that have other TEFL certificates. All right, so you should never even attempt this without having some sort of TEFL certification or a CELTA or something along those lines. So one of the reasons that we find such success as well is because our course is accredited. Okay, accreditation is important. Okay, so all our courses are accredited. They're internationally recognized. They're strictly monitored, so that all our courses and our content are up to standard, and they're constantly updated, so they meet industry standards. Okay, and also for these companies and profiles and platforms that Angus was talking about, that they can recognize, they see this certificate from us, and they know, okay, this is Angus. You are not the first person from TEFL Online to be on Preply, so they know our certificate already. Okay, and it does help you. Just to give you an inside view into the online platform when you're studying your TEFL course, what it might look like for you. On the side here, you will have your links to click on. Here's your introduction. How to be a good teacher, for example, is module 1. So you would click on the link over there, download the PDFs that you need to study. You can print them out and scribble over them, or you can just read them. You can read them on your mobile phone. The whole platform is responsive. You can use a tablet, a mobile phone if you have to, or a computer. We recommend a computer because the bigger the screen, the easier everything is to read. I'm the kind of person that likes to print out these PDFs and then write all over them, but if that's not you, that's fine. You watch the videos, and then you do the quizzes after each one. All right, the short quizzes, they're about 10, 11 questions each one, and they are there for you to reflect and to see that you are on track. If you're getting 7 out of 10 for every single one, you're pretty much set. You're good. You can move on to the next one. Okay. The short quizzes after the end of each one are not necessary for you to pass the course. That's for you. At the end of the course, then you will have a final exam that you need to complete, and you will have 3 assignments that you need to complete and then give to your tutor for evaluation and feedback. And then if you pass, your tutor will then send you a certificate. That would be the theoretical side of things, that 120-hour theory. Then we have the 30-hour online teaching practicum. So this is really for people who have no teaching experience whatsoever. Not even people, I mean, if you've in your previous job done corporate training, or you've done onboarding of new staff or something, and you've used Zoom and you're used to delivering information online, then you might not need this unless you want it, of course. All right. So, but during this practicum, this is really for people who want to get online teaching experience and the confidence that comes with it as well. So during the practicum, you will observe teachers and recordings online, and then you will join teacher training seminars with our partners, Worldwide English Practice. We'll show you what the inside of a class looks like pretty soon. They've developed a little program for us so that you can actually teach 8 one-hour classes with their students in a real classroom environment. It's a very structured program now. You have 1 hour per week over 8 weeks. So it's an 8-week program. And then at the end of it all, you'll get an accredited certificate from us and from them as well, so that you can take into your applications, into your freelance profiles and things like that. Just to give you a look at what it looks like, a typical classroom would be on Zoom normally, the teacher up on the top left there, and all the students. And you get people joining your class from Russia, from Iraq, I don't know where the other people are from, but from all over the world, Malaysia. So you get a nice blend of people so that you can get an idea of the different levels and what it required for you to teach effectively. So these classes as well will provide all the resources for you. You'll have support the whole way through in your class as well. Watching from behind the scenes is a teacher trainer, observing your lessons and providing feedback afterwards. So you're never alone, and you'll have all the support you need. So we really do want to throw you into the deep end kind of during the practicum, so that when you come out the other end, you know how to swim. You know how to handle the class. You know how to handle a situation, how to create lesson plans, how to direct a lesson, how to get feedback from your students, and these kind of things before you even apply for your first job. All right. Having said that, you're finished now with your theoretical course and your practical course. You've got your certificates in your hands. Now, what do? how do you turn that into an actual job, or into private students? Like, how do you prepare your resume, your introduction video? Did you know you need one? What do you need to say in it? Your freelance profiles. How do you apply for jobs? How do you get interviews? How do you get your own private students? And how do you make sure that those students keep booking classes with you? And we do this through our TEFL mentorship program. The mentor is actually online right now. There he is, Zander. Hello, Zander.
Hi there, everyone.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Enjoying the summer weather in Southern Africa, Jody.
Nice. It's getting dark here now. All right. Not so summery anymore. I'm glad. Zander, if you don't know him, he loves the summer. All right. Angus now recently just completed the TEFL mentorship program, because this was step 2 of his program. I just wanted to break down and just give you a little insight into this, and then Zander can explain the program a little bit more. But the TEFL mentorship program is a live program. It's over Zoom, similar to what we're doing now. We meet twice a week, and Zander then will help you to do all of these things, all these practical things like that are not included in teacher training courses. All right, so we have 2 versions now. We've just introduced a self-study version of the program, which is Zander recording videos and then putting them into a course for you. It's all the same resources as the mentorship program, as the live guided one, but with recorded videos, and it's completely self-study. All right, it's designed primarily for people who weren't able to join our live sessions at night because of scheduling conflicts or whatever, and also for people working on a tight budget, because it is the cheaper version. All right, but definitely the best version to do, and Angus can attest to this, is the 10-hour live program that we deliver over Zoom. Now, I'm going to let Zander and Angus take it from here, because they know I can explain this much better. All right, Zander.
Perfect. Yes. Great, everyone. So maybe as a bit of a background as to where this program comes from. So I'm anything but an experienced teacher with decades of experience in teaching. I only got into the world of online teaching at the start of last year, 2021. And I remember, like, during the application process and getting everything ready to start applying for jobs, I spent hours upon hours recording introduction videos, re-recording introduction videos, re-recording introduction videos. And at the end of that process, as I started gaining momentum in my career, I remember talking to quite a lot of people who said things like, I finished my TEFL certificate 2 years ago. I've not taught a single day in my life. And I really couldn't understand it, because although I spent so much time on getting started and applying, I felt like the cracking the code was quite easy to get a job, and to use that first job to get a second job, to gain even more experience, which would then allow you in time to actually charge a higher rate. So I spoke to Jody at some point in last year and told him, listen, I feel like I've cracked the code, feel like I can help people to get to sort of bridge the gap between being a qualified online teacher and being a working online teacher, actually earning money. And so that's basically where the mentorship program came from. And Jody and I sort of put our heads together to put something really effective together that would actually end up helping people. And I think, Jody, up until this point, I think we're at about between 60 or 70 teachers that have come through the mentorship program, experiencing quite a lot of success. So in terms of our session layout, we have a few different things that we focus on. Session 1 is mostly about motivation. When I designed the program, I was thinking what would be an inspirational topic to start this course with, only to later realize that this was such a crucial session for us to include, as rejection is always a part of most things in life, even more so with online teaching. When you start applying, you'll see that you get rejected quite often. In my own experience, I think at first, my first sort of run of applications, I applied to 29 schools and I was accepted in 1. So rejection is something you need to be quite comfortable with. And that's the reason why we sort of base everything that we do in the mentorship program, whether it's recording videos, putting together resumes, submitting application, that has to be connected to your motivation and answering the question of why you do what you're doing. All right. Session 2 is basically production week, as we jump in with things like resumes, writing your video script, making sure that all the content that you put out there, basically the 2 most important resources you'll use to to submit applications and create online profiles on the freelance platforms, making sure that you include all the important content. And we make sure that it's of quite a good quality, because that's something that really stands out in the world of online teaching. Session 3, we transition a bit more into interview preparation. So we try and recreate the interview environment. We make it as awkward as possible to really break the ice. And for any interview you would experience subsequent to that will only be more comfortable and less awkward than what you would have experienced. So once again, I think online teaching and the online classroom is something that's quite a foreign concept to most people, and we want to make sure that during the mentorship program you become more familiar with how to do things online. Session 4 is then application week, as we start submitting our resumes and introduction videos far and wide. I point you in the right direction as to where to apply, which schools are currently hiring, which schools are higher paying schools, which schools are good schools for you to gain some experience. Session 5, teaching children. We normally take a two-pronged approach in the mentorship program, where I help you to find employment with a school, but also to get started on the freelance side of things. And often when you look at the school side of things, I would almost go as far as saying 6 to 7 out of 10 schools have quite a unique or specific focus on children, which means that even if you're not experienced or comfortable teaching children, it's often a much quicker start. It's a very safe place also for you to gain some experience, to make mistakes, and earn a bit of money while doing it. So we actually dedicate one session to get you comfortable with teaching children. Session number 6, marketing yourself as a freelancer. That's the second prong of our approach, where you have much more control in terms of teacher-student relationship. You've got a lot of more control about your hourly rate, your schedule, what you do, the content of your lessons, and all the rest. And then last but not least, focusing on not only getting private students in the freelance environment, but also making sure that you retain them in the long run, which is basically the essentials you'll need to build longevity in your career as an online teacher. So in a nutshell, that's the mentorship program.
Great. I wanted to pop over to Angus and ask him about session 1. What was your motivation? What did you tell Zander in that first session?
Well, what actually happened was at the beginning, I've been working in the corporate sector for about 22 years. And at the beginning of the year in the corporate company I was working for, I was actually retrenched, so laid off, in other words. And my motivation was I needed to make some kind of income and start getting into it. And that was one of my motivations. But then I'm realizing it more. I don't know if I actually mentioned it to Zander. I can't remember now, but I've realized that actually I wanted to get out of that corporate space. It just wasn't good for me and my family. So in the long run, I just felt it was actually a blessing in disguise that I lost my job. It sounds very weird, but I've been put into a place now where, like Zander said, I can pick my schedule. I'm freelancing on Preply at the moment, and another platform, iGox, as well. So there I'm basically freelancing on both of those. I can't pick my rate on iGox, but obviously on Preply I can. But what it's given me freedom, and I'm actually learning such a lot, and you'll be surprised at how much you actually learn from other people, your students. You'll be really surprised. And it's actually we can go into it a bit more perhaps later, but just the way it makes you feel, it's really rewarding. So I think that definitely motivation was firstly the money, but now I realize it's a little bit more than that as I'm progressing through this journey. So yeah, that was it, I think, for now. Yeah.
Well, I'd be interested to see what other people's motivations are. If anybody's watching this, I mean, I can see there's some people online and you feel like you need to type something. Type it in the comments below what you think what is your motivation? Why would you be interested in doing something like this? And then was just to talk about Angus, about the marketing yourself as a freelancer and the private students. How did you find that? Was that is that where you want to find yourself eventually? Is that where you want to go? Or are you happy teaching children as well and that kind of thing?
I've oddly enough, Jody, on the one platform, my youngest student is 12. And then I actually had my oldest student being literally 85 or so.
Wow.
And so I've got a big scope now. I actually enjoy the children, there's something, I haven't had much experience with them yet. I've only had one young student, but with her, it's been great. It's actually been fun to sort of build through this relationship and see her actually grow and open up and start actually taking part. So that's a rewarding thing. And you're right, what you said. I think you did say it. I think Zander said it, or you said it. But I think Zander did say it. You can make a little bit more mistakes to a degree. It's safe.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's a safe place. You can feel a little bit less nervous. Moving into working with the private students and freelancing, I actually really like that, though. I found it's really, really interesting. I like the fact that I can decide what I eventually would like to be paid, and I'm enjoying it, though. It's actually a lot of fun for me. It's not a job yet, I don't think, but it's actually cool. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Could you give us a breakdown of your timeline? Because in preparation for this, I was looking about when you enrolled, and I think it was like the 25th of March or something was when you signed up.
Yes.
When did you finish? How long did it take you more or less to finish your TEFL course and all your training?
I finished at the end of July. So I took March, April, May, June, July, just under 6 months. And then there was a little bit of a gap, and we waited for the mentorship program to open up. I did the mentorship program, the 10 hours, and I got my first student I'm actually looking at it now, on the 20. That was actually the amazing thing. My first official student, I'm just looking at my calendar here, would have been at the end of September, around about the 23rd or so of September. 21st, actually. So that was my first class, went straight into it. So, and my calendar was empty. And when I look at it now, it's like, it's full compared to what it was. So it's really amazing. I mean, it's not chock-a-block, but it's really amazing. I'm actually not sure how it happened so quickly. I actually don't know.
We do,
but
we
I think
know why.
I know. Yeah, I will say I was actually very surprised because Zander said, and I think Zander, I know why you did that. It's just to keep the expectations real, was so that you don't expect something. If you quickly put you do all this work and you put your resume and your interview video and you apply everywhere, it's to make sure that you most likely to ensure that you don't feel like you should get a job tomorrow. So that you have a little bit of, you should be gracious with yourself as well. I think that's one of the things. But yeah, you can know why. It's because I believe it's because I put in the effort. I've listened to what my mentor Zander said. I followed the course. I took copious notes, tons of notes in our mentorship program, and I tried my best to follow step by step because I realized I'm too old. I'm 43 now. I cannot go back and reinvent the wheel. And I think that's the awesome part of the mentorship program, is that you've got somebody like Zander tells you these things. You've got this formula. Take it, work with it. Don't try and reinvent it. It's worked. He showed us his schedule as well. It started with nothing, and then all of a sudden his schedule was really full, like chock-a-block. And then you knew that was the fruit of that was actually being able to take what he had given, what he had experienced, put it in and take it out of this program and apply it in my own journey with it in my own life with teaching online, and it works. So I really think it's great. It's awesome.
Great, thanks for that. We got a comment here from Christelle, whose motivation would be spending more time with her daughters, who are both involved in sports and whatnot. So it'd be great for someone, a stay-at-home mom. This is one of our biggest groups of people that actually go through our programs, are the stay-at-home parents. We have people retired as well. So if you've got kids, then this would be a great opportunity for you. You can choose your schedule. I work in the morning, so then I stop and I fix up my kids' lunch, and then I go fetch the kids. I've also got kids. I'm also a stay-at-home dad. So for everybody in every part of life, if you want that flexibility and this choosing of your own schedule, this is a perfect one. A lot of people don't talk about it as well as the digital nomad lifestyle. If you want to go traveling as well, if you want to teach English abroad, for example, starting to teach English online is a great way. Start like that, work from home, get your certification, start earning an income, and then you can just close your laptop, put it in your suitcase, and off you go. You take your job with you. You land, you connect to the internet, and you can carry on teaching classes. So there's a whole range of opportunities, and Zander can attest to this as well. We've had so many people come through the program, and then we have this plan for you, this formula, and some people just end up where we could never expect them to end up, and things just explode for them. So Angus, just hang on. You never know what lies around the corner for you as well. All right. So
if I can attest to what you're
sure.
saying now as well. I mean, my wife homeschools our kids. She's at home. I'm at home now. My 3 kids are here. It's awesome. I stop when I need to. I come out. I just have to fight with them to get off YouTube most of the time because that kills the internet connection, and that's for real. It's like, but they get in the hang of it now. But it's great, you know. If we have to go to, if they have to go to some kind of extramural activity, I can schedule it in, and I can go with. I never was able to do that in the 20 years of corporate life.
Yep.
Not often, anyway. Just once in a blue moon. So yeah, that's awesome. I think it's a great way to do things. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad that's worked out for you. Really.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, just some photos. Angus, I don't have one of you here of our mentorship groups.
Okay.
Yeah, people can see you. They don't need to see you again on this one. But yeah, so you can see from all walks of life. I mean, age is not a barrier. Your gender is not a barrier. Your race is not a barrier. I know in South Africa, there's going to be a lot of people worried about that, but you can see we've helped everybody from every walk of life. All right. So they have all come through our program and found all different types of success. So also your success, depends on you, whether or not, the rate of your success depends on you, how much effort you're going to put on. Do you want to work part-time? Do you want to work full-time? Do you only want to teach kids? Do you only want to work contract positions? Do you want to only teach adults? There are so many variables, and this will affect how long it takes you to get set up as well. Angus, you said that it took you 6 months to complete your TEFL course. I've seen people complete that TEFL course in 2 weeks. So people who want to go for it, other people have a slower pace. It really is totally up to you. The TEFL course is self-study in the beginning part of it, or at the end you have the tutor guided assignments and graded assignments. People start getting involved, but the beginning part of it is up to you. Those first 11 modules, you can finish them as slow or as fast as you like, as long as you do them within the 6-month period, that is. Okay, so after that, so you've done your TEFL training, and you've done your practical training, and you've done the mentorship. Everything's getting ready and set up. You're ready to go. You've got your first students. Now you need the support, all right? And that's where we really, really stand out from any other TEFL course provider, not only with the mentorship, which is another way we stand out, but with the lifetime support, all right? We have groups on Facebook. We have groups on WhatsApp. We have email as well that goes out. Our WhatsApp group, for example, is over 150 teachers in it at the moment. So you have a well of resource there for you. I mean, I was thinking today, trying to figure out how many years of combined experience in that WhatsApp group. And even if every teacher only has 1 year, that's 150 years of combined experience for you to ask questions, all right? And also for you to provide feedback and provide help for other teachers that are just starting their journey. So in that group, you can get and receive as well. We do free training sessions. We specialize in exam preparation. So we do the IELTS. Our TOEFL course is launching on Friday, and our Cambridge exams course is launching probably end of the year, latest to January. We'll have to see where that one comes out. But our specialist training courses are in exam preparations. A lot of students out there that want to prepare for specific exams to get into universities, to immigrate, to prove their level of English for a job or whatever. So there's a lot of demand for teachers that are specialized in these areas. A lot of students that don't just want general English lessons, the cat sat on the mat or whatever like that. They want to prepare for exams, and they're willing to pay you for that and pay you more than the average rate. Okay, so this is one way to specialize and for you to get more students at a higher rate. Okay, we do live monthly Q&A sessions. I say we do them. Our first one is actually tomorrow. All right, so this is a new thing we're introducing through our support groups. Once a month, we'll have live Q&A sessions with Zander as well. So any questions you have about your career or what to do next or where to take it or how to improve, how to grow, all of these things can be discussed live through these groups as well. We have a resource library on the website that you can log in with a password. It's for all our graduates, where you can watch more training videos for free. There's some paid resources, there's free resources, there's downloads. We have pre-made lesson plans as well. So if you're teaching online as a freelancer, you normally have to create your own stuff. We have 100 there that you can download and edit to your heart's content. We also provide job offers. We have partners, and we have people. I get people contacting me regularly that are looking for people, looking for teachers. So we pass those job offers on to our graduates as well. And then just to be part of our online teacher community. The community is really what we want to create. This is the end goal for eTEFL Online, is to, like I said right at the beginning, we don't want to just sell you a TEFL course. We want to create long-term relationships with you guys, with the graduates, and help you build your careers, because you never know where it's going to go from there. For example, over here we have Roxanne. She went out on her own after completing our course and started specializing in IELTS exam preparation. She came back to us a few years later, and the IELTS course that we provide now was developed by her and myself. So that's a way for her to develop another side of the business as well, and then we help her to sell that as well. Leslie over here, she is the one that's helping us with the TOEFL course. She went out as well and got experience in preparing people for TOEFL and has helped us create our TOEFL course. So, we want to create long-term relationships, and we want to help you expand and grow as a teacher as well, and not just sell you a course. All right, lots of talking, but if you are ready to get started, if you have completed that free course, if you haven't completed that free course, all you need to do is sign up to our mailing list, and we'll send you the login details for that course. You'll be automatically enrolled. It'll take you an hour or two to complete max. Everything you need to know about teaching English online is in that course. We'll talk about everything you need, software, hardware. We'll show you videos of what an online class really looks like from the insides, a one-on-one, an adult, one-on-one with the child, group adult classes, so that you have a complete understanding of what teaching English online is before you make any decisions, before you invest any time or any money in anything else, okay? If you've done that and you're ready to begin, you can contact us. You can contact me directly. You can visit the website. You then enroll in one of our online teacher training programs. Yes, step 3 is complete your TEFL training and your practicum. If you've chosen a bundle that includes that, start the mentorship program. Now, one of the things that's required for the mentorship is that you have completed your TEFL course. You can't skip that first. During the mentorship program, we apply for jobs and we get profiles set up, and you need to, send off these documents. So you need to have that already done. Okay. And then step 5, start teaching English online. It's a simple process, but it is time consuming. You need at least, like I said to Zander right in the beginning when I met him 2 years ago, or might be 3 years ago now, I don't know, 4 to 6 months to get started. And for him, it was exactly that. So if you can budget or set your timeline for about 6 months from the moment you register until the moment you start getting your first student or your first interviews, that would be a good way to do it. Like I said, some other people do it faster than that. Some people take longer. It really depends on you.